If true, this changes everything, as we just got some intriguing news revolving the state of the MLB and how there could be a major shift that would change the game forever. We'll break down what this news means for the New York Yankees and how this opportunity could help skyrocket the game of baseball. What's going on, guys? Alex Brooks back here on Yankees Digest, giving you guys a daily dose of Yankees content every day of the week, and the Yankees are just coming off of a series sweep against the St. Louis Cardinals, going into two division matchups with the Tampa Bay Rays up and the Boston Red Sox for a 4-game series. But if you guys are not subscribed, if you are part of that 74.4% who aren't subscribed to these videos, let's hit that subscribe button, comment down below to join in on this conversation. The Yankees are getting ready for their playoff push in the latter half of August. We really appreciate all the support you guys are giving us on this channel. But let's get right into this video, as talking about the recent news that was mentioned on Sunday Night Baseball, as Rob Manfred hinted at a possible expansion with MLB, as this has been rumored for years now, for possible teams in Nashville, in Portland, a lot of different things that Rob Manfred wants to do before he retires from the game of baseball. And he talked a little bit more on that on Sunday Night Baseball. Just to give it a little bit more context here, he said, "I think if we expand, it provides us with an opportunity to geographically realign," Manfred said. "I think we could save a lot of wear and tear on our players in terms of travel. And I think our postseason format would be even more appealing for entities like ESPN, because you'd be playing out of the East and out of the West." And this is huge, because this is something that, with the expansion, we were thinking, there's going to be a couple teams that are going to be added, and it may align a little bit with, when we talked about how Houston moved from the NL to the AL, nothing really changed, just the West got in the AL, they just got the Houston Astros, but now everything could shift. And just, a little bit more on what could be a possible shift for this team, or for the MLB, excuse me. This is something that the MLB could look at for the possible realignment. And when you're looking at it, we'll start off with the East: the Yankees, the New York Mets, the Red Sox, and the Phillies. Wow. New York, Boston, and Philadelphia. I mean, just talk about so many heated matchups, and you'd be playing those teams 13 times a year. Yankees would be facing off against the Mets, the Red Sox, and the Phillies. Just, we've seen in other sports like NFL, NBA, like New York, Philadelphia. I mean, that's a huge rivalry in itself. And then New York and New York, you're talking about like different rivalries there. And then obviously in New York and Boston, it kind of covers all the bases here in the MLB to have New York, Boston, and New York, Philadelphia. I mean, just huge when looking at those type of matchups for the New York Yankees. And then when you're looking at other ones that really intrigue me are just, the Mid-Atlantic, Orioles, Nationals, Braves, and a possible North Carolina team. When they're looking at the Midwest, that's interesting there. Nashville could be with the Royals, Cardinals, and Reds. And then when you're looking at the South, Rangers, Astros, Rays, and Marlins. There's definitely, it's interesting there because the Rays and the Marlins are in Florida, so you kind of ignite that Florida rivalry. Obviously the Rays and Marlins aren't doing really well right now, but to have a little bit more of a Florida rivalry can be very interesting. So all of these could be very intriguing. But when you're looking at the East, Yankees, Mets, Red Sox, Phillies, I mean, huge things that could happen for the Yankees moving forward. And just to look at it, the Yankees and the Mets could be playing each other 13 times a year. And, we've obviously seen Juan Soto leave in free agency with that 15-year contract. Well, you thought, oh, you might see Juan Soto, a couple times a year with the Subway Series. No, you're going to be seeing him 13 times a year, and that could just be heated in itself, and then it counts for division games. I mean, oh my god, like that is something that Yankee fans would be loving to see because it just ignites more of a rivalry because obviously know that we're going to see the Mets every single year, but now being able to see them 13 times a year, I mean, it will be goosebumps. It will be goosebumps for this Yankees team and the Yankee fans. And talking a little bit more on the Yankees and Mets and how that rivalry could be so huge. This was from Jason Burgos on Yahoo Sports. He said the Yankees and Mets already have one of the better rivalries in the MLB due to having a pair of ravenous fan bases loyal to their clubs. And that is just from a couple of series per year. However, playing each other 13 times a year, if they were in the same division, might make Yankees versus Mets even bigger than Yankees versus Red Sox and Mets versus Braves. And I definitely agree. I definitely agree that could be huge for baseball because the Yankees and Mets have been one of the biggest rivalries outside of Yankees and Boston. But, when you're looking at the Battle of New York, like, you obviously talk about how the Yankees have so many championships, but you go year in and year out and you get to know the other team and get to really have those heated rivalries, heated classic games in the regular season. It just kind of ignites a little bit more in the state of baseball and in New York because you feel like, you're not going to miss a Yankees and Mets series, and that could be huge to get more opportunities and more people in the stands in Yankee Stadium and Citi Field. But what do you guys think regarding these series? Do you think that the Yankees and Mets could be something that you would watch 13 times a year? I know I would, and I would definitely be very interested to see how the Yankees and Red Sox and gets a little bit more bigger, and the Yankees and Phillies get more bigger if they are going to be in the same division. So let me know your comments down below. Really want to hear what you guys have to say. But when moving forward to this Cardinals series, when talking about how the Yankees were able to sweep the St. Louis Cardinals, I mean, this was huge. Big for this Yankees team morale-wise and momentum-wise. Yankees are now winning 7 out of their last 10 games. I mean, this is big because you're seeing more ways the Yankees are winning. I mean, they're using their bullpen a little bit more because the starters didn't have the best series, but they were able to go a little bit of a distance, just getting 4 to 5 innings and relying more on their bullpen. But you're seeing the offense ignite a little bit more. And another thing that was really good to see was Jose Caballero. He was able to get a lot of stolen bases here, and also, the bats were just on fire, and Will Warren had a little bit more to say on this series. He said, "We've been saying it all year. When we play like we're supposed to play, these are the results you're going to get," said Will Warren, who allowed 3 runs, 1 earned over 4 2/3 innings. "We've been staying with the process. We haven't strayed from anything we've done. Just head down, keep going, and we're starting to win again." And I definitely feel that the Yankees, even though they are winning a little bit more, they didn't really move in the standings. 5.5 games out still against the Toronto Blue Jays, and that doesn't help because, the Yankees dug themselves a hole. They were digging themselves a hole, but they gained some ground on the Boston Red Sox, now only a half game out of being tied with the Boston Red Sox in the standings, and having them coming up this weekend for a 4-game series could be just very big because, Yankees, Red Sox, it's already a big rivalry, big contest, but now they're trying to get playoff positioning. That could be huge. And, when looking at the wild card standings, just looking at Red Sox and Mariners, they're a half game up right now. So the Yankees definitely gained ground on the Mariners and the Boston Red Sox with their recent stretch of, you're seeing they're 7-3 in their last 10 games. And they also gained more cushion with the other teams that are chasing them. The Guardians, they got swept. So now they're 3.5 games out of that third wild card spot. Kansas City, 4 games, and Texas Rangers are back there at 5.5 games as they're 2-8 in their last 10, not looking too good. But so The Yankees definitely on a roll. They definitely needed this sweep against the St. Louis Cardinals. Got a big series against the Rays, 2 games, Tuesday and Wednesday, and then they got that dreaded, exciting, whatever you may call it, 4-game series against the Boston Red Sox, where that could shape up to see where this Yankees team is moving forward. But that's going to do it for another edition of Yankees Digest. Appreciate all the support you guys are giving us on this channel. Hope you guys have a great night, and let's go Yankees, guys.